Finals day of the Quake World Championship continues here, live from QuakeCon 2023. Another elimination match, this one including last year's champion. It's Kilson versus ZENAKU. Welcome back to the desk, Lethal and 40 Lions. How you doing? And are you excited for what I think will be a pretty awesome match?
Yeah, it's going to be a banger, this one, and we don't really know what is going to occur here, do we? Because we saw a lot of weaknesses coming out from ZENAKU yesterday, especially against Chain, but he seems a lot less nervous today going into this matchup, and he's also very familiar with how Kilson plays.
Yeah, I mean, both players don't want to be in the lower bracket, do or die. We've seen the weaknesses in their games, but right now they have to bring everything they have to the table. And I think Zen, you know, he's probably mentally reset well enough, I think. You know, we've talked to him previously during the Quake Pro League, during interviews, and how he approaches games, and he's pretty good about clearing out what happened before and focusing on the now.
No, I think it's a great point, right? We've gotten a chance to interview him several times throughout the regular season, and in most cases, he's talked about the little things that he's done to try to improve his game, and clearly, just based off of him being here, not only in the tournament, but also making that top 8, and then kind of being the seed that represents all of these folks that we said, hey, there is a lot of potential for all of these folks to be a potential champion. Kilson, on the other hand, really interesting story, right? Like, had a very, very massive matchup versus Rafa, where Rafa took him down 3-0, and that just, I don't care who you are, like, that one is going to sting a little bit, forcing you, after you just went through a winning bracket run a year ago, down to the lower bracket and having to claw your way out.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And Kilson, he's going to be absolutely ruthless going to this series. He probably wasn't too happy with his performance against Rafa. And for ZENAKU, he's probably quite relieved to make it this far. Think about how close that matchup was against Chain. That was ridiculous. Went all the way. And now we're going to find out how Kilson is going to perform. And you can see already giving me the eyes. That's all right, mate. No worries. But we'll see how this goes. But it looks like he is more than prepared now to go all the way through that lower bracket run and to see how he's going to perform. But it wouldn't surprise me if he went so much further. But with ZENAKU, though, I'm hoping we don't see the version of him we saw yesterday. That's just the biggest worry for me right now.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to Kilson, there's no time to even think about what happened with the Rafa game, right?
Exactly.
You have such little time, you have to adapt, it's do or die. So I don't think he's necessarily worried about that. We saw the stare, it's full focus. And in terms of Zen, again, he's always been good at kind of cleansing the palette and saying, let's go. So one map at a time, as everyone always says. This should be a very close matchup, in my opinion, as both people. We see the clap back. We saw kind of what happened to
that's
Wenger,
right.
and
Yeah,
then the clap
Yep.
back. So Kilson's kind of in that mode where he's like, no, that wasn't real what just happened to me. I'm not going to allow that. So
there's truth to that. There's truth to that. Well, I'll tell you what, let's actually hear from Kilson, who yesterday sat down with us to find out what he had to say going into today's finals.
It was the plan to make it this far into the tournament, but you never know what's going to happen. Like, there are so many challenges up the road, and yeah, you got to take on one at a time, right? There are quite a few who could make it. Us, the defending champion, coming here quite confident. That's just what I'm carrying with me into the matches, and made it work out. Even being a very tough match with Maxer, no matter how comfortable I feel against him because of his style. But yeah, it's worked out so far, and getting closer. But it's only small steps so far. The most proud of I'm right now with the victory against Maxer on Corrupted Keep, which was quite an intense matchup for me. Somehow it made me feel like super nervous at some point, and I even started to press the wrong buttons. So yeah, it kind of shake me off a little bit. I mean, I also didn't know what to expect in that kind of matchup, because that's something you don't play as often. I knew I could have the edge, but yeah, he played it really well, made good pressure. But in the end, I managed to survive critical situations, and that just made me, made me still keep my composure in the game, and still allowed me to take the map. It's a tough battle, no matter who you have in front. There's no one I would like to avoid, because in the end, you gotta be able to beat everyone. So to really be able to call yourself the champion. So whoever it is, you gotta take on, and you gotta win. And to lift the belt again, like last year, was quite incredible feel. And you know, doing that here in America now at the QuakeCon, would just be fantastic. I mean, I still have like memories from 2019 at the kickoff event, being able to lift the belt as first, as the tournament winner, and to repeat it would be really, you know, it's like a dream, really. That's the only goal I'm here for, like nothing else. I don't want to finish as second. I'm not, you know, don't want to finish as third. I'm here to make first place and nothing else.
It's very clear that Kilson has a target in sight. It is that belt. You heard him say it right there. And I do think that Kilson is completely capable of resetting focus. If you've ever watched a stream or you know those emotes that he throws around, and I would guess that that's what we're going to see here. But, you know, ZENAKU is a phenomenal player who has seen some great growth, not only just in this season, but over the last couple of seasons. And if there's someone that deserves to be here, it is 100% him. He's going to put his heart, he's going to put his soul, he's going to put his everything into this matchup, and that should make for just a really, really exciting game.
And everything we've seen, all the players we are in the top 6 currently is probably what we predicted and what we expected as well. Zen is, again, an example of that. And it's like I said before, it's just refining his gameplay over time. And he's got to a point now where maybe last year I would have felt like he had a very tiny percentage of a chance to be able to take it. But now this time around, I thought it's increased massively how much progress he's made. It's been absolutely ridiculous. But I'm hoping for his sake, it's not going to put a halt to that. It depends on his confidence going into this series, but Kilson's mindset now is just, I want to win the entire thing, and that's the championship mentality you need.
Yeah, and being able to bounce back from the lower bracket proves how much you want it, and you've been in this situation before. You know, you're down, but you're not out. Both players have to keep fighting through this one here in this best of 5.
Well, speaking of best of 5, let's take a look at the picks and bans. We've had some interesting matchups and scenarios already, and I would expect that we're gonna. Wow. Okay, we've got. All right, let's take a look at the maps first. We're going to start off with Deep Embrace, go on to Keep. We have Molten Falls in there for map 3, and then Awoken and Blood. But who wants to take us through the champs?
Oh, I think I might start things off. Athena versus Anakin, that's a nice little start, a nice little flair on the server we'll witness. But you can see for the bans as well, Veil being banned straight away by Kilson. Pretty does it every single time, so there's not really too much of a surprise there. More meta speaking as well, to cut to Keep with the BJ versus the Ranger pick, not really too much to talk about there. We've seen a lot more of the scale, of course. One of your personal favourites there, we've seen Strong Sage make good use of that time and time again, but against the Doom, it's not something we see too often with that slash ban. And we're going to see Zen coming out with the clutch, and again, a rarity in itself against the Sorlag, and Eisen versus the Death Knight. Again, 2 champions you'll never ever see, even on the rarest of occasions of Blood Covenant. So if it does go to map number 5, it's anyone's guess who's going to take that.
Yeah, getting real thick on map number 4 and Zen on the clutch. I haven't seen that a lot, so that's got to be some pocket practice happening right there. I would have loved to see more Citrus, but this is fine. I feel fine. It's going to be a fantastic set. And looking at these picks, I mean, look, you pick to win. You pick what you're comfortable with, whatever is available. Completely understand, especially at this stage, do or die lower bracket.
Yeah, some comfort picks in there, but also, right, a couple of areas I do think that clearly Kilson would love to probably take this into. There's like a little bit of just chaos in that Awoken matchup, especially like the Sorlag versus the Clutch. That's pretty wild. The Blood Covenant game, should we make it to a map 5, it's hard to even imagine exactly how that plays out. And, you know, in our last matchup that we saw with Wenger and Maxter, we were on Blood Covenant with a Clutch versus Visor. Very unorthodox game. This one is even, you know, more interesting because I'm not sure that either champion is like excels on Blood in any way. So it might just come down to just who has the greatest fundamentals and the stamina to win that game, should we actually go there.
I think with Blood Covenant, just in general, with Eisen, you can either make it work or it will completely fall apart. We've seen it being used on Corrupted Keep as well. And it's, if you get absolutely zero use from Timmy, then, it's basically curtain call for you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do. And it's going to be the same situation with Blood Covenant. I don't know how he's going to use the turret. It's going to be used to prep those items, I'm sure, on the bridges. Quite often, might try and keep on spawn on some of the areas, but I do feel like the Death Knight is a much more of a viable option going into it. But it's just a clutch pick from Zim, which I'm very excited with. Of course, he's witnessed Razy, and there's normally about 4 players in the QPL who have been continuously using that clutch, or just using that champion, just a wide variety of their champion pool overall. But the fact that Zen's actually whipping out for himself, we don't know what he's like with the clutch in terms of his startup play. And I think that's actually the perfect time to use it. But the Sorlag, though, it's going to be a completely different question in itself.
Yeah, super interesting pick there. We'll see if we can even make it there. We've seen some crazy games already.
We have.
So
We have.
the sets have been a little insane. Hopefully this one can go the distance so we get as much Quake action as possible. But yeah, I mean, the clutch pick versus Sorlag, my eyes went directly to that one, especially because it's just like, it's not often you see Zen on clutch.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is we've got the scale on Molten Falls, and yesterday we saw a pretty interesting matchup. That was a scale versus Anarchy between Strong Sage and Wenger, but it takes a very specific style in order to play and really capitalize on that. I kind of feel like the Doom is an interesting pick. It could stay a little bit out of some of those traps, but it's exciting that will be a map played no matter what. So we are loading into our first game, of course, kicking us off with some action and some chaos on Deep Embrace. And we are going to go live here in just a moment. Of course, after this, we've got the upper bracket finals. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves yet, but the day is just begun. So we are live in Deep Embrace now, gentlemen. Enjoy yourselves. Take it away.
Thanks, Sweet. Appreciate it. And yes, the gamers' desks are reinforced because both players are jacked and we don't want any kind of shenanigans. No need to break through the table. Lethal. But it's a pleasure to be here with you. We're going to get into it here. ZENAKU versus Kilson is live on map number 1, and we're starting off on Zen with that Athena.
So they are indeed, and already picking up that light, rotating back around to pick up that Mega and delay as much as possible. Already a little bit of segregation. The timing's about 6 seconds here so far. So to see who's going to get that full item control early on, it's going to be a bit of a doozy here for that Heavy in the next 10 seconds. But still, just both these players just finding the footing at the moment. Gets a little bit of tri-mark damage done, but even then come out with the LG from both these players. But Zen's slightly weaker as Kilson just picked up the health bubble, still chasing him down, left to 46 HP, and the rocket comes out from Kilson. First frag in his favor.
Really nice play there. You could see that Zen was lacking rockets, couldn't really fight back, and Kilson pounced on his prey there, taking the first frag rather quickly. And wow, up close rail, no problem for Kilson right there. 10 seconds till the inject. This is the opportunity for that, but already denying the lower light, making his way back to the Heavy, which is going to be up here shortly, but he has plenty of time to reroute and even press Zen and kind of test that defense a little more. That's too much almost, but he's going to go up, and the shotgun from Zen puts a stop to that immediately.
Well, that's one way to stop the momentum, It's quite early on still, though, mind you. Still a few seconds between the items here. Just Zen just biding his time, just trying to assess the situation and deciding what the next move is. He hasn't any rockets on in rail to his name as of yet. Finally picks up his rail on the spawn, just backs away. He was trying to get a cheeky shot off, but also so did Kilson, but didn't manage to get it at all. But backing away once again.
So that Athena hook, a little bit of LG action here. Inject is up for Kilson, looking for that rail, and he nails that through the drive-through window here. And Zen needs to be very, very careful. You can see immediately, he's trying to get out of there. Kilson looking for the kill shot. Zen just trying to stay alive right now. Has that tri-bolt out, and the Mega, luckily for him, is up, and he will grab that unscathed.
He certainly does, and the Heavy's been up for quite a while, and that rail shot from Kilson is going to be pinnacle towards that second frag. Is Zen finally is able to slightly recover, but look at the stack from Kilson though, as Kilson's after blood once again, trying to get away and wasn't able to fully, but some good tri-bolt damage coming out there from Zen as Kilson now just rotating back around. Heavy's not up for another 10 seconds. Gets a little bit more done onto Kilson with a Mega still up, but you can see Kilson just trying to prioritize that frag, and my god, that rocket from down below, and the rail sadly missed. He managed to get one through the murder hole.
And again, he's just been hitting so many rails. We're starting to kind of see Railson emerge on this one. There's the inject with the rocket jump. Zen with 60 HP gets a little bit of a tickle, but can't really contest. He's going to go back to the Mega, and Kilson says, no, that's not free. And again, rails him before the pickup again. Kilson railing out of his mind right now, up 3-1, 3 minutes in. Missing with that one, unfortunately. He's gonna miss with another one, and Zen's gonna try and stand his ground. A little bit of tri-bolt, not gonna connect. But as the squishies, again, a rail is just so critical against these light champions.
Certainly is. Zen's only fired one rail shot the entire time, and Kilson's fired 16 already, just denying that rail on so many different occasions. As we're just past that 3-minute mark. Mega is up, gets another good rail once again, just doing so much chip damage and just Making matters worse here for Zen gets another. He's so weak. He's going to try and go for the kill before he picks up the Mega. Manages to get it and the Mega on top of things, and now heading towards that Heavy. But he will be able to pick it up, but he hasn't got any weapons in his arsenal.
Yeah, this is looking a little brutal here as Kilson is just punishing with that rail. And that opens up the whole game. That's what he wants. If I hit a couple rails, the world is his oyster here, especially as a light champion of Athena. So inject in the pocket here for Kilson as he's on the hunt yet again. No major item up for 8 seconds. He's just trying to find that angle, almost clipping Zen as he backpedals and just wants to get away and stabilize here, Lethal.
He's trying anyway. He really is trying, but so far Kilson's just put way too much pressure on him over the last couple of minutes, and he's shown a lot of creativity with his movement as well to try and corner off Zen. But now Zen's reading him a little bit better now over the last minute, but the Mega's will be picked up by Kilson once again. This Heavy will be up in the next 15 seconds as Zen is just trying to get in position for it, but he's just a little bit unsure as he misses that initial rail once again. And so far, just taking a look, he hasn't actually hit one rail shot yet, so this is going to be a little bit brutal if he doesn't start hitting them now, but gets a little bit of damage done, gets the inject, gets the Heavy, and look at the stat difference as well for it. This is not looking too good as Kilson now just still on the hunt and a little bit on the chase, as at least Zen's got, or did have, a bit of a positional advantage, but had to back away again.
Yeah, and Kilson opts to just not take any damage. Go ahead, grab the Mega. I have a 3-frag lead. I want position on this Heavy. And he's sitting pretty. Again, as an Anarchy with the inject, you essentially have a pocket Mega, so he's not too fussed about it. A little bit of tri-bolt there. There comes the hook, premeditated and seen from Kilson, but he does take some damage. He's going to miss out on it. Zen just wants this frag with the shotgun, the Athena hook, the rocket defensively, but Zen finally gets the buckshot he needs to put up his second frag.
That was really well played from Zen. I love the ID, had fun on the back of that, even with the stack disadvantage, able to steal the Heavy. If he was not able to, there was no way in hell he would have actually been able to get that second frag. But so far, Zen just going back up. He knows that Heavy's going up in the next few seconds as Kilson's backed well away. And to be fair, who wouldn't at this point in time? We've still got 4 minutes left, so plenty of time for Zen now to try and bring this back. He's trying to get another rail shot in, still has the stack and looking to try and get an angle, but of course, Kilson not making it easy for him here.
Ooh, that swing, just dodging that rocket here. A lot of LG coming out. 1 HP. Finally pops the inject back to 51, but he's still railable even after the bubble. He needs to be very careful. Oh, and there
Lovely.
it is. Zen converts with the rail. And again, as you said, struggling early on with the rail, but now he hits that one, and this should be another conversion. Tied at 4. Zen is clapping back, misses with the rail off the spawn, wants to pick up that rail and make Kilson work for grabbing another one. LG on LG, Kilson trying to play defensive here. Can he stay alive? The buckshot won't get the frag that he wants. A little bit of a tickle with the rocket, but the Mega should be in Zen's pocket here with a perfect rotation potential for Heavy.
Zen is looking so much better compared to yesterday, and my God, the tracking from that LG from Zen. He was down by 3 frags at one stage and now up by 1, trying to make it 2. You greedy boy, trying to get that sick frag to his name, but it looks like Kilson does get away for now. Stacks almost equal as the Mega will be up next 5 seconds, and this will be a big fight to land. Oh my goodness, the tri-bolt damage as well. There's no way Kilson can face this or even attempt to contest.
Yeah, and I mean, not to point it out and be the bearer of bad news, 15% rail for Zen, not a problem. He's using all the other weaponry he needs, positioning well, does have the 1 frag lead, trying to get some rocket damage from down below before the Heavy, but he's going to have to concede that, or at least just opt to do some exit damage here. But he's making it work, Lethal, and that's all that matters. But if he chains together more of those rails, he gets more options here. And Kilson just going in right now for the kill. And you can see Zen almost thought about trying to chase. Doesn't have any rockets, needs to be careful. The rail swap won't land. Will grab the upper armor and finally get some more rockets to work with.
I was gripping so hard then for Zen when he was going through that TP, but luckily for him, Kilson did miss his shot and could have equalized the scoreline. But Heavy's up. It's been up for a few seconds as Kilson just, again, just trying to analyze the situation, but caught with the LG, but that was a good rocket coming out from Kilson, and he's going to be able to find him and uses the inject, and ZENAKU manages to make it 6.
Those rockets were pixel perfect as they needed to be in a great rail. That's going to send Kilson packing. He's already used the inject. This might be another frag. The rockets won't land, and the tickle from that far away will land in 7-4 in favor of ZENAKU. Less than 2 minutes lethal. Another rail, and this might be another frag. There's the hook. The shotty comes through for Zen again.
My goodness me. What a change from what we saw yesterday. LG coming out again, some good rocket shots as well. Kilson super weak, and of course, trying to get away with the tail between his legs, but who comes out with the LG, almost cleans him up. He's going to see if he could try and deliver the fatal blow, but he does manage to get away once more as he's going to prioritize the item to see if Kilson's actually lurking about, which he isn't currently, but Zen's looking pretty damn good. A minute left, a huge stack. It looks like it's going to be Zen's map to win.
Yeah, just incredible adjustment here from Zen, being down early but making it work. And again, another frag for ZENAKU, 9-4, and another rail off the spawn. Again, struggling at the beginning of the game, but now hitting him off the spawn, making sure Kilson can't do any shenanigans off his spawn, and there's just not enough time right now, Lethal. I don't think this is it. 40 seconds, 5 frags. Zen should be able to take this one, just play defensive, and what a first map.
I know, this is ridiculous. This is something we just did not anticipate at all, considering what we spoke about earlier. And Zen at the start, the first 5 minutes, he wasn't hitting anything, and now he's hitting everything and more. He's just going back up as we only got 20 seconds left remaining as Kilson just trying to keep this as competitive as possible. Cleans him up once more, making it 10.
There it is. It's not about how you start, Lethal. It's about how you finish.
That is true.
10-4. Maybe another frag, who knows? Who knows how saucy he's feeling? And yeah, he wants one more, why not?
Yeah, treat yourself, go on.
It's a buffet, isn't it?
It is, it
10
is.
minutes has been hit, 11-4 is the official map score for map number 1. ZENAKU takes it over Kilson with quite the performance, and again, we kind of alluded to bouncing back. You said the chain game yesterday kind of sent Zen in a spiral, but he bleeds, but he doesn't quit as he came back here against Kilson. Kilson might still be reeling from the set for Rafa, we don't know. I mean, the rails were on point, but then once Zen chained together those rails, it changed everything.
It certainly did. Where was this Zen yesterday? Maybe he had a day off yesterday? I have absolutely...
Power save mode, you know? He's like, look,
Yeah.
I can get through barely and save most of my... I don't know. But
You could be right.
what matters is that he's here now.
Yeah.
And he performed that well, and especially with that kind of start to come back from that, that's just going to build that confidence going into map number 2. And now you got to start kind of questioning, like, all right, Kilson, how can you get back into this? Be it mentally, reset, however you got to do, whatever you got to do to get back into this, because, you know, that performance was good, but the fact that Zen was able to claw this one back, we don't see that a lot from Kilson. Once he has the lead, he's kind of just foot on the gas, and some of these plays, as you see the rockets from ZENAKU and the rail, again, just fantastic.
In terms of aim skill, I'm actually quite surprised because his rail wasn't hitting anything, but his LG was really strong, like a lot more stronger than I anticipated. And as soon as he got into the flow of things, the momentum was building, then his rail kind of complemented it at a later time, and that's when we saw him just escalate that scoreline to a ridiculous amount. But honestly, well played from Zen. You can see there, 23 items for Zen and only 11 from Kilson. And considering Kilson's known for his timings and known for how well he is to prep for those items, absolutely ridiculous. 43% for Kilson for the rail, 37.5%. But to be fair, for Zen, that was good, considering he was hitting nothing for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, again, the turnaround, the adaptation was fantastic, warming up, whatever you want to call it, Zen did it, and he got it done. Kilson, both players playing lights, but once you fall behind, it's just so incredibly hard to get back, especially on a fast map like Deep Embrace against an Athena that has so much speed. And then, like I said, Zen near the mid to end game started hitting those spawn rails. Kilson even off the spawn using the inject previously before dying. It's just like you don't have options. You don't have options. Time's ticking, and Zen was able to run up the score on him, and that was just a fantastic performance.
It certainly was. Now we're going to map number 2 shortly. We'll be on Corrupted Keep. It will be the BJ versus the Ranger. Almost Meteorez, of course, the Stog not being in there, but this is going to be an interesting matchup in itself. How Zen is going to try and use that dual wall just to maybe scare his opponent off some of the items, or maybe to use it to his advantage in terms of the damage. It's going to be a lot to take in, but Zen is very passive on Corrupted Keep. He only plays to his advantages, which you, of course, normally do anyway, but with Zen, he has his own style of how he actually plays Corrupted Keep, and a lot of players may find that he's quite hard to break defensively on Corrupted Keep. But Kilson, we've seen some style points, some flair on the server with his creativity to try and at least annihilate his defense. If that's going to happen, well, it's going to be another question, isn't it? Pretty much.
Very, very bursty champions on either side. Obviously, Ranger with the Dire Orb has the capability to escape, be a little more versatile, but BJ tracks you in a corner with those rockets, or LG, you are dead to rights right there. And as we saw previously on map number 1, Zen's LG is on point.
It definitely is. Honestly, I wouldn't want to fight against it.
No, I'm good. I'm good over here with
I'm
you.
all right.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
Safe here. Let's just stay together. Hold me, Lethal. Hold me.
I will. Sorry, don't you worry about that.
But we are going to get into map number 2 here shortly. Zen with the map lead. Again, lower bracket action. And yeah, we're going to get into it here. Do or die, slowly getting to that point here.
As we're going to go into it now very shortly, we have got underway with Zen versus Kilson now, and we're going to see who's going to come up trumps it, if Zen's going to make it 2-0 in the series, or if Kilson will try and equalise that scoreline in terms of the series score, kicking things off from ZENAKU's perspective to see exactly what mischief he's going to be up to.
Yeah, I didn't hit the button in time to transition. My bad.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, chat's blowing up right now. We missed the first 15 seconds. Nothing happened, all right? Here's the action. Calm down. 37 seconds in. There's the rocket jump from Kilson, using that passive to try and get position to damage on this LG as Zen is stuck behind the statue, but Kilson says, you know what, this isn't really in my favor, that's fine. I'm going to rotate back and grab this heavy instead. More importantly, still has the Dire Orb in hand. Again, very, very bursty. And Zen might be able to play some defense as he does have the dual wield as well.
He certainly will. No try-bot for Zen, but trying to make it work. He's backing away once again. Mega's up in 3 as you can see. He was holding the high ground, but the duel was looking pretty good here for Zen, but Kilson comes out trumps there in that little scuffle, back in at that first frag.
More LG here. Zen able to steal the heavy, and Kilson says, that's fine, I'll allow it.
We'll let him
for
off.
him, yeah, more LG as well. And 1 rocket in the pocket here. Zen trying to fight his way out from this corner. He's going to run into some tribal. Never mind. It doesn't even matter. Kilson now on the back foot with the LG of ZENAKU. That was fantastic here. No dual wield. Dire Orb is up. Kilson needs to try and get out of there. And that situation looked dire for a second, Lethal.
Yeah, just a tad. As Kilson does have the high ground, but doesn't have to stack, so airstrike coming down, but the dual wield is just a bit too much there for Kilson, and now Zen already tying things up, and still after just a little bit more.
He's going to drop early. That might be, yeah, that was a bit of a mistake there, Lethal. Maybe missed timing is 2 seconds to the Mega. Kilson's going to dive back in, at least steal the upper light armor here. Zen grabs that Mega. 5 seconds till the heavy, and Kilson with the cutoff with the rockets, trying to set up some defense here and make sure that that heavy is his.
2.5 minutes in, Kilson's just picked up the heavy. Mega's up in the next 15 seconds. Both items heavily segregated, so of course Kilson's looking to aim for that full map control. As the dual wield is ready and waiting, but so is the orb from Kilson, as now Zen just trying to, again, just gather enough information, keep his distance, go for the chip when required, but also has good reads on Kilson as well. Just trying to keep his distance for the time being. Good amount of LG coming out from Kilson, but we have some good tri-bolt damage coming out from Zen as well.
Ooh, big rocket there. Still dual wield available as well. And I like that little jump, but actually lingers around too long. Takes some rocket damage from Kilson. So he really wants this Mega, and now it's just a matter of, is he going to drop? Did he see it? Now he did. Kilson pushing in, and Zen wants nothing to do with this. He's going to concede the Mega. Almost gets a little bit of exit damage here. There's the rocket jump up, and the Dire Orb closing the gap. Well, the rocket's going to be good from Kilson. 50 HP. Zen hanging in there and just backing away. Can he at least steal the heavy? A huge defensive rocket. Now, who wants to die for this heavy? And it looks like Kilson's going to dive in and not make it. Can't even steal the heavy. Zen, what a play.
He didn't even burn the heavy. That was a huge mistake there, and it means now Zen can continue piling on the pressure and just continue engaging with that aggression. That was sadly a big mistake there, but it does collect up over time here. Double rockets coming out there with the headstrikes coming down from Zen. Getting a good rocket off a direct there. Orbit up. He catches him as he drops down here. 4-1 now for Zen.
Kilson is starting to force the issue a little too much. He needs to Kilson right now as Zen has a 3-frag lead. We're not even halfway through this. As he's trying to fight for anything and bully his way onto these items. He's going to eat another big rocket, and the shotgun blast takes him out again. And Kilson just keeps dying before these items, trying to force the issue, and Zen will take these frags all day, Lethal.
All day, every day for Zen. Maybe not yesterday, but definitely today. Like, my goodness, it's Such a change. And this is what happens. We get a good night's sleep, I suppose, going into the day 3 of the Quake World Championships.
Oh
what difference is going to make? And the damage from that heavy machine gun as well. He's given Kilson very little room to breathe across the map. And I did say as well before the match even begun, as that Zen has a very strong defensive mechanism here on Corrupted Keep. It's very hard to break. Again, Kilson trying to make a better the situation, but Zen coming out on top once again.
Yeah, it almost feels like Kilson's treating, you know, the BJ character like it's a light champion. He wants to Dire Orb in and use the shotgun, but Zen has too much stack, and his LG is so on point right now. 6-1, we've officially hit the halfway mark. So much aim. Oh, wow, that rocket combo. Zen actually couldn't put on the brakes. He was just trying to tear through him with the machine gun, and potential for Kilson to finally turn this around as he gets a clean mega after that frag, and he's going to have the Dire Orb up shortly.
He certainly will. 12 seconds till this next heavy's up, but Kilson's just prioritized for light before he makes any kind of engagement, but he does find him around the LG. Gonna get a sprinkle of damage here and there whilst he's around that LG spot, but Heavy has been delayed by a fair few seconds, so that will throw Zen off a little bit in terms of the time. We'll have an educated guess later on, but good LG coming out from Kilson, but Zen does drop down. He's trying to get a little bit more if he can, but he's a little bit stuck here, but it seems like Zen is going straight on in with the LG. Lovely jump, movement, and play coming out from Zen.
And that Dire Orb didn't even phase Zen because like, what are you going to do, go off the map?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fine, I'm just going to LG you. You don't really have anything to do with that. The rocket to LG combo should be good here, and yes, it is. Kilson can't even find any damage from those rockets, and I am just flabbergasted at what we're seeing right now. Kilson just, he has no answers for this, and he's kind of forcing the issue, and that's just giving Zen free frags right now.
And time isn't exactly of the essence either, considering how clean these frags have been from Zen. Yeah, it's going to be looking pretty tough for Kilson so far. And look at the stack once again. Just Zen just picking him apart here and there, and it's just unbelievable how well and how proactive he's been around the map. And considering the circumstances now, 3 minutes 15 left on the clock. Zen is continuing to roll back the items. And speaking of the items, though, 14 items for Zen and 12 for Kilson. So it's not like he's been out of pocket in terms of the items there, as he does manage to get away.
Yeah, and Zen is completely cool with that. He's like, I'll do a little bit of damage on this. I don't really care so much about the majors anymore. It's a 6-frag lead. You're going to have to start, you know, pushing through these choke points that I'm going to play around. And Zen's defense has been sublime so far. And I can't imagine it's going to falter the last 3 minutes. Kilson has to kind of overcome the odds here. A lot of LG through the doorway, and Zen's just going to back off onto the heavy easily.
It hasn't been contested heavy as often as we would like the last couple of minutes. As Kilson does drop down for that mega, but at this stage in time, with 2.5 minutes left, he needs to take some risks. That could be a potential one here, as they're both going back and forth with those rockets. But Zen, do you know what? That's a good trade for him. Even though no deaths occurred, no kills occurred, any time wasted is going to be in his favor every step of the way.
Time and ability lethal, as the Dire Orb was used for that. Vials on the other side of the map already taken. Zen does have dual wield, so those vials in the banana will be up, but Kilson doesn't really have time to cycle these anymore. We're down to 2 minutes, down 6. He's got to put pedal to the metal, make something happen here.
Certainly does indeed, and look at the LG damage as well. 1,530 damage for Zen, only 737 for Kilson, as actually Zen's done exactly 1,000 more damage than Kilson here. That just shows how proactive Zen has been for the entirety of this second map, but Kilson has to stack, but it's just way too little too late. Coming up with the duel, coming up with the orb as well, is backing away, and still, man, and evens the stack line once again. That's what Zen is aiming for. If he gets a frag, great, that's going to be a bonus for him at this point.
And he backs up onto the mega. He's actually spawning. Kilson just had to push that frag, and Zen with a little bit of loop grabs the mega yet again, and that just resets Kilson's progress. Dire Orb's already down, 1 minute 15 remaining, and I think Zen has taken map number 2.
Yeah.
Well, this is crazy. I don't even know what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, he might have taken this map.
Yeah, I think
pretty
there might be
sure.
time, but I don't know.
No.
I can't tell, Lethal.
No, I can't tell either. I'm, yeah, maths is not my strong point.
I've never been able to read.
On broadcast, it's great.
Oh, I thought we were just admitting things. Sorry.
Oh, well, we can admit as much as you want. It's a 55 seconds left there with that duel coming up. But yeah, it's all said and done. But my goodness, the fact that it's already 2-0 for Zen in this series already is just crazy. It wouldn't surprise me if Kilson found a way to try and bring this back and took things one map at a time. But my goodness me, what a way to start day 3 off for Zen here, as he does take him down once more with that 9th frag.
And there it is. Kilson calls the GG. He wants a little bit of a breather. 30 seconds left. It doesn't matter. There was no way to really get back into that 7-frag deficit. But Zen, big shouts to him. 1 map away from advancing, and I didn't think it was going to be like this. There's still 10 minutes remaining. But Lethal, there's a world where we're not even going to see the thick play that we thought we would with the clutch and Sorlag. And that's crazy because I really genuinely thought that this was going to be a back and forth affair, and Zen had other plans.
Yeah,
so
I'd be a sad boy if that's the case. But GG's from both players, so it does mean that Zen now up 2-0.
Look at that smile. He knows. He's close.
I do like the cheeky grin on his face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after that performance, you have nothing but to be really ashamed of. That was fantastic. First 2 maps. I don't know. It's the Zen's show now. Usually, I'm used to saying it's the Kilson show, but he's got to show us that he can get back into this one. And, you know, this is where the championship mentality does matter. You're down 2. You're in lower bracket. Can he fight back? It just seems like he doesn't have the answers, but another 10 minutes will tell the tale.
It certainly will indeed. And I hope it does go to the 4th map because that one just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I just wanted to get crazy.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah, exactly. I like a bit of chaos and mayhem, exactly. I don't want to like just sit down on just a 3rd map. I just want just a little bit more. I don't ask for much, do I? Don't ask for much.
Well, not on stream anyway.
No,
but yeah, the dire war play, I mean, it didn't really net him a lot. Like, a lot of the dire war plays that Kilson did were to force the issue, and Zen just had too much of a stack. Again, you're not going against the light. You can't just orb to shotgun combo and anarchy on this one. So I think miscalculated, kind of forced the hand a little bit too much. But to Zen's credit, great defense, too. Didn't really give up an easy frag, even though Kilson got in his face and tested that defense. Here we see these defensive rockets. Kilson kind of unsure, should I try and take the armor? Jumps in, and then we saw countless times that Kilson was just dying right before the item spawned. And yeah, Zen just played really well. Things like this, just forcing the issue and then not being able to convert.
Yeah, it was a few occasions, wasn't it, for the Idesons where he was actually just in a forced scenario, but he was trying to hope just to try and claw back a little bit earlier and trying to maybe fumble a tad here and there. We've seen it a couple of times, but you can even see there with the item control, it's literally identical. It's just Zen's been a lot better proactively and doing a lot better with his stack. And the defensive mechanism I said on Corrupted Keep, he's just playing it so well in a passive manner, and it's just really hard to break. But Kilson was trying to break through that barrier. He just couldn't. He did it time and time again. Really struggled. But even look at the aim score percentages as well. Like nearly 2,000 damage with the LG, like nearly 35%. Unreal stuff here from Zen.
Yeah, just crazy. Just crazy. And, you know, you keep thinking back about a year ago, a couple months ago, you're like, yeah, this would never happen.
Yeah, exactly.
We would never be in this situation. Now it's just Zen's putting everyone on notice.
Just playing pretend at the moment.
Yeah, Zen's just putting everyone on notice, saying, I belong here. I know I shouldn't, I don't want to be in the lower bracket, but I'm going to fight my way out. And he's doing a great job. It's absolutely insane to see. 1 map away, 10 minutes away from advancing.
Who would have thought it, though? Honestly, who would have thought it?
Probably not most of chat. I feel like they're just like, what is happening? Check him PC, something's up. I don't know.
I was going to say, if anyone's saying in chat that it would have been a 3-0 for Zen, stop lying. Stop kidding yourself.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But do you know what? It could happen. And going into this 3rd map, no clue how this is going to go. But with the 4th and 5th map, it's probably even worse because of the fact that the champion pool, in terms of what they selected on those 2 maps, it's unfamiliar territory for them and for us as well, considering like over the course of the QPL in the last 18 weeks. So it's anyone's guess. But for Zen, I think it's best for him just to close it out now, because with those champion choices, both players are going to be a little bit unfamiliar with how things are going to go in that matchup. And I think it's best to be safe rather than sorry at a later time. Yeah,
I mean, absolutely. Zen wants to close this out 3-0. He wants to get that extended break. He doesn't want to drag this on. He doesn't want to give Kilson any shot.
Got things to do,
places to be, things to eat, snacks to have. But I mean, you're up 2. Like, you cannot give your opponent any kind of in, especially Kilson. Because if you give him an in, she's going to take a mile. But right now, Kilson has to do his best to try and reset mentally and get into this. You can see this full focus. He's clearly not happy with the situation, but he's got to fight his way out.
If Kilson takes this map, then it'll give him a bit of leeway. It'll make him feel a little bit relieved, thinking, right, okay, at least I've got a slim of hope, at least a bit of light at the end of a tunnel in order to give myself a bit of breathing room and just take things 1 map at a time, as we're now going to head into Molten Falls between ZENAKU and Kilson. Currently 2-0 in the series. The ZENAKU will be the scale bearer versus the Doomslayer, and we're going to see how things are going to finalise off. If it does finalise in this 3rd map, depending on Kilson's situation. Already starting off from Zen's perspective, absolute chaos from the get-go here, trading the blows. But it looks like Zen does come off a little bit better with that heavy, and now can get the rail as well as those rockets.
You got to love that aggression from both sides. Bull Rush and Berserk used, wanted to maximize the armor, did Kilson, grabbing the light, falling back to the heavy. The Bull Rush came out from Zen as well. Now Kilson Kilson patrolling the upper area, shotgun area. Zen waiting patiently by the LG for this next heavy. Grabbing some vials, wants that bull rush. Trying to read exactly where Kilson is and has a good idea where Kilson's going to peek from, but he can't do anything. I mean, he's a big boy. He's going to eat some rails on this one, Lethal.
He's a beefy lad, so not really too much of a surprise there. So we're just almost surpassing that 1 minute mark. We've seen Strong Sage play Scale extremely well in a defensive manner on Molten Falls, but he makes it work so well. So now I'm curious to see how Zen is going to play Scale. Is he going to do the same way? He's going to play quite defensively, coming in. Fisticuffs comes out from Kilson, but he's like, actually, no, see you later, mate. I'm actually just going to back all the way off.
You're a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Close.
Yeah,
I really don't
forget
want
your
this.
bull rush. Exactly.
Good rails from Kilson, though. That's exactly what Zen has to be worried about. He is a big boy, and Railson, this makes it even easier for him to connect with those rails. So Zen has to manage that stack a little bit better. Think twice about taking those rail fights and not giving unreturned damage to Kilson, because he will take that all day, and that's exactly the kind of foothold and way back into this series he needs.
Certainly does indeed, as of course he does have that mobility, but he needs to be very careful how sneaky Zen's going to play and the traps he's going to set as well, because even with a slightly bigger stack by 50 to 100, that bull rush to shoddy or rocket combo can really pay the price. And that's what Zen's going to be looking for at some stage. But decent amount of damage coming out from Kilson. A rail as well to boot as he's trying to get away, and does manage to for now.
Yeah, 5 of 7 so far, no signs of stopping. Kilson's like, this is just kind of target practice, but all that damage doesn't mean anything if you can't put a frag on the board.
No, you're not wrong at all, as he does pick up the heavy. He manages to steal it away, so it's made some progress there, but did take some chip from that previous rail from Kilson. Still has that bull rush, some manner of how and when that's going to get initiated, as he's on the lurk at that moment forward. He just having a bit of a wonder to see exactly what Kilson, in terms of what shenanigans he's coming up to. The Mega has been picked up, trying to time that rocket round, doesn't hit the rail either, so Kilson can go through the TP if he wants, but decides to go over to that rail jump pad.
Couple rockets thrown out, going to use the Berserk to try and get in and out of here rather safely, and he does so with the vials waiting for him in Banana, and it's just okay. Zen's just so patient with that one, knowing that Kilson might show his face, taking the opportunity to get that rail damage. Kilson has to back away, and he does hit the fadeaway rail, but unfortunately for him, the Mega pickup was after the fact, so Zen's stack isn't too bad, Lethal.
You can see from Zen's position there, he was LGing, but he wasn't too sure if he wanted to fully commit, and then decided to. He's going to push straight in to try and clean up with the LG, 41 HP. Kilson trying to do everything he can to stay alive, and does manage to, but my goodness, look at the stack difference as well, as Zen's actually rotating all the way around to try and catch him off guard, but Kilson was more than aware of what Zen was up to.
Yeah, really nice pathing on the bull rush, going low to high instead of the other way around, so Kilson was kind of forced onto this side of the map now as Zen has taken full map control, and here he comes, never mind, drops down. Could have been a big boy coming around the corner there as Kilson. I'm sure he was clinched, ever so slightly for a second.
I'm pretty certain of it, 4 minutes in now. Luckily, he didn't go through that rocket entrance at the same time as that tribot, but still being chased down once again as Kilson just debating to go through that TP, depending on which angle Zen was going to come from. Finds him, hits that rail, is going to try and go ahead, but use that Berserk to just collect the light and that health bubble, but also still in position for that heavy if he does want to contest it, but decided to back away again.
Yeah, just burning that Berserk so he doesn't float up and give Zen another opportunity for a rail and then to push in after that, so I like it from Kilson. Using it however he can, and here's the bull rush, needs to double jump over or something, but ole instead, and now the rockets from Kilson are fantastic, and Zen takes out Zen. Kilson is officially up a frag here, 4:30 in. Good rail from Zen off the spawn, though, to keep Kilson a little bit honest here. Berserk is back in his pocket. He's going to try and drop down on this heavy. Zen can only really defend with that rail, and he's going to concede that one, Lethal.
Yeah, interesting, because as well as having that double jump, he's also had the high ground on those LG stairs, so he could have just bounced over it like it was Mario at one point. As Mega now will be up in the next few seconds, as both players are looking to try and contest this. Kilson literally just standing his ground, waiting for Zen to try and throw a few rockets in towards his direction, but succeeds, does get away, doesn't hit the rail, mind you, so he will have to deal with a bit more congestion from Zen for this heavy.
Bull rush is available. Kilson needs to be careful. If he drops down, maybe Berserk's back out onto the jump pad, but it's Bit of a stalemate here. Kilson hears the telly noise, gets a rail, gets the armor. That's fantastic for Kilson. Might even find another one here. So here's the jump pad again. Lethal almost finds another angle.
Certainly does. It's quite a slow approach in this game, completely different what we saw in that first one. And now just rotating back around. How is Kilson now going to try and extend his lead? How's Zen going to get back in this matchup? Really, in all fairness, good amount of damage from that last rocket. He's thinking about dropping down, but he's going to just wait above. But Kilson's actually going to jump on up, and as he gets to rail as well, Zen needs to get away as fast as humanly possible to try and recover.
Really good pressure, and you can't be caught at Mega right now. Gonna try and grab a light and get out, maybe. But yes, Kilson knows that he's got him weak. Almost hits the rail. He's not too fussed about the Megas. That's gonna be free right there. And had Zen on the back foot for a minute there. Still stack not looking that great, all things considered. But Kilson doing a good job of rotating these items, taking more map control now. Zen wants to try and push in. There's the Bull Rush to try and steal it. Luckily for him, the timing is good. A little bit of chip damage again, the Bull Rush with the damage reduction there. So Zen making sure that he still has item timing and doesn't give Kilson that huge, huge full stack.
And he's still got plenty of time left on the clock. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. And Kilson does pick up the Mega. Heavy's up in 10, so we're going to see how he's going to try and contest this shortly. Maybe he might not even bother at this point. It depends on the circumstances. He has that mobility, mind you, to get away, so have to see how that goes at the later stages of this map. The LG comes out. Rail also comes out here from Zen. He's going to try and berserk as fast as humanly possible once again, using those rockets defensively to keep him away, but realizes that Zen has backed off. But it's actually gone underneath the Mega now, so again, just trying to catch him, but he's also been caught with the LG from Zen as well, going to try and push him forward with the rockets, but he falls off! Oh no! But the trade comes out in the end, and Zen finds him with the rail. He's going to try and get a second, but doesn't get it, sadly.
Shouts sync error on that one. But Kilson still is in the lead at 2.5 minutes left, more importantly. Bull Rush in the pocket for Zen. He did hit that rail off the spawn. Now he's going to grab the heavy, and Kilson has to be shaking his head a little bit again. Yeah. Still kind of stable, but getting a little crazy. 1 frag lead. Kilson needs to win this map to extend this series. Zen trying to work on a 3-0 against the reigning champion?
I know.
I can't believe that that's a thing. 60 HP Berserk and Zen with 2 great rails as he drops down. He ties it at 1 lethal. 2 minutes remaining on Molten Falls.
A lovely way to even the score line, but it comes up LG battle once again, but Zen has the stack advantage here, waiting for him to dare him to go towards that heavy. He manages to pick up. He actually dropped down. Surely that must have been an accident. What on earth happened there?
I don't understand that. Oh, nein, das kannst du nicht machen, Kilson. Why? Why would you drop there and give Zen the lead with less than 2 minutes? I have no idea, Lethal. I'm going to assume that was a mistake, maybe a mistime. But Zen will take that all day. He has the Bull Rush back. He has a fantastic stack to work with. And Kilson is just up against the wall. That's been the story for this series right now. Can he dig deep and find a way back out of it?
That's going to be the next question, but Zen still has that huge stack lead, and of course with the Bull Rush to boot, it's just going to make matters even worse here. He was saying, like, you know, defending champion question mark, top 6 question mark at this point. He uses the Bull Rush straight afterwards. This is so clean coming from Zen.
Oh, minute 10, and
dearie me.
He's throwing the shoulders, he's throwing them off the map, and this has just got to be so disheartening.
It's right.
He can't think about that right now. 1 minute championship mentality. He's got to throw everything he has. That's a fantastic rail clipping Zen on the exit right now. He has to double back for the heavy to have a stack to try and attack, because it's just go time right now for Kilson.
It certainly is. Even with the item control, 17 items for Kilson and 18 for Zen, so it's not like he's been out of pocket with the items again. 68% rail coming out from Kilson as well, and you can see on the hunt once more. There's only 35 seconds left remaining. Zen being railed once again. Kilson looking to try and at least feed us up. That second frag manages to, but needs to find 1 more to take us to sudden death in his next 25 seconds.
Less than 30 seconds, yes. 20 seconds now, as he has the heavy armor, he has a stack, but he doesn't have any rockets lethal. He needs to try and push with LG and hit some great rails. 15 seconds separates Zen from advancing and Kilson from extending the series. Is this going to be the end of the tournament run for the reigning champion? He needs to find these rails. He's going to use the Berserk. He's going to clip the wall. That's going to eat up the time. And with 4 seconds remaining, ZENAKU has done it. He's knocked out the reigning champion and advanced through the lower bracket.
3-0 over Kilson. The defending champion Kilson is sadly been taken down, but my goodness me, what a difference we've seen from Zen night and day compared to yesterday. And yeah, goodness gracious me, what a series.
Wow. I mean, wow. Surprising in the moment, but when you think about how well ZENAKU's played this whole season, look at how he finished off last season as well. It's actually not that shocking. It is just because it just dethroned, right, the previous champ, and that is now an option off the table. But ZENAKU played just such a remarkable game, and goes to show when he is playing his best, when he's prepared for these types of matches. That was unfortunate too. He can do it, and we said that those who are kind of seated in that top 6, even top 8, have ability to create disruptions, have the ability to make things happen that we may not expect, and we just got one of those moments right there as ZENAKU is about to join us here at the desk so we can hear what he has to say about a very impressive victory dethroning the previous champion Kilson in 3 games. ZENAKU, dude, good job.
You done it right there, mate. You done it right.
Thank you. Oh, not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I was looking over here as the game ended because I was kind of expecting like maybe just the ultimate pop-off, but even in victory 3-0 here where you're at, tournament life on the line, tell us about that celebration right there. What were you feeling in that moment?
I really respect Kilson a lot, so I didn't want it to be, I know obviously he really wants to win as well, and I mean obviously I'm happy about it, and I think also like when there's 10 seconds left and I'm hearing him take the pad, I'm like, okay, I got this. Where I think sometimes if it's like sudden death and it's like, okay, well,
right.
I'm really feeling it. But yeah, just out of respect, I didn't want to pop off too hard.
For sure.
So.
I'm sure my pat on the back for you before the series started helped you out a little bit, didn't it, mate?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, you'll take that, of course.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah, exactly. What I was going to say was, what's changed since yesterday? I did notice yesterday you were slowly going back to your old ways of being a little bit hesitant. Great item control, good map control nonetheless, but today you were back to how you should have been yesterday, and you looked phenomenal, looked absolutely incredible. What changed between yesterday and today?
Well, I think I put a really big expectation on myself to at least make it to day 3 because, last Quake I didn't make it. And I think for me it was more just the anxiety of getting to that.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because, I don't know, while I was up there, I'd be curious to see if my heart rate went over 100. because I don't know, I was seriously just chilling. I was actually just playing and, yeah. So I think just the fact that I made it to day 3 and I thought, I've done what I needed to do. Now it's like, I'm still going for number 1, but I'm just enjoying myself as I'm playing, and I think it shows.
Sweet.
Just in that flow state, huh? So everyone might think that you're a cuddly koala, but in the arena, no,
The drop bears. You ever heard of the drop bears?
No, I haven't. Actually, no. Dandy King told me about that.
Yeah.
We had a little conversation.
Okay.
But I have to commend you. That was a fantastic performance. But in your head, I mean, how did you mentally reset? The game with Shane yesterday, the series was very close. A lot of people were surprised by how close it was. I'm sure you were as well. Bit of a nail biter. But the bounce back, what kind of went through your head? You had, the night to sleep it off and everything. What kind of going into this one, what were you thinking?
I think just see how far I could take it, and I think just take one match at a time. And I think a big thing for me was, how can I say? I have to think about that for a second. Hold on.
You got 5
Side
minutes.
question. Was the chicken salad from Raising any kind of...
Yeah.
Sorry, performance-enhancing chicken salad. Sorry.
No, I think, to take one match at a time, because I think I was kind of getting I wanted to make it here, I want to do there, can I beat this guy, can I beat that guy? And I think I just said, you know what, we're just going to, now that I've made it to day 3 and I can clearly map out, it's this set, potentially this set, and I'm just like, oh, okay, it's pretty doable.
So take one step at a time, yeah.
So do you move the goalpost just to the next matchup, or have things changed as like, hey, I'm moving the goalpost, but you know what, I see that belt, it's not quite, it's not too far away, or is it still just got to focus on what's next?
Well, I think the desire has to still be number 1, and I think as soon as you let go of yourself, it's kind of, you can tell your heart's not in it. So it's like, yeah, your heart has to be in it for the sake that you could win, but also you're going to be let down. And one match at a time, but I don't know, man. The belt's behind me. I was eyeing it off, so we'll see how it goes.
It looks real good.
Yeah.
It looks quite tasty.
One final question. We've got a chance to hop on an interview with you several times during the QPL, and I think all the casters would agree, right? You talked a little bit about just how you're rethinking about the game and taking care of yourself out of the game, and right, all of these things. And do you think like kind of the approach and the journey that you took throughout this season has helped you reach this point? And does that then just encourage you to say, I'm going to continue to double down on that?
Yeah. Well, I think there's still an element of me that could be developed that's going to kind of, that I'll be like, oh, Dave, top 4, and that's how it is. But look, I don't want to get too preachy on you, but I swear to God, like, the stuff that I do with the Bible and Christianity and reading all about it, I was up there and I was seriously chilling. And I think, like, all respect to Kilson, I could tell in some moments he was quite nervous, and I don't think Kilson played his best, to be honest, but it just goes to show like where my mind was, where my heart was, because while I was playing, I was like, well, if I'm going to win, it's going to happen because, God allows it to happen if people are into that, believe that, but it's what I believe, so.
Man, I'm really proud of you. You've put a lot of work and effort into it. You've focused on all sorts of aspects in and out of the game. You deserve that victory. Congratulations, ZENAKU. Big props to you. And good luck in your upcoming matches. We're excited to see what else you got. So we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we have got it's Rafa versus Razy, an upper bracket final, surely to be an explosive matchup. So don't go away after this break. We'll be back.